If you like this video, make sure to subscribe to Downfall Network for more cool content.
What's up, everybody? Thralls of Metal here, bringing you yet another album review. Surprise, surprise. I'm Jammin Jon.
Necrotic Nick.
Rin. And that's who we are, as if you didn't know. Today we are reviewing the newest album from the band Harlott, Detritus of the Final Age.
This comes out on the 13th of November, Friday the 13th. And this is their fourth album overall. They are a thrash band from Melbourne, Australia, the land of everything venomous. And this is their second album on Metal Blade Records. And outside of that, I really don't know much about this band. They have one other release that was on Metal Blade and then two others that are independent. I have one of those independent ones, and what I can tell you about this band is they are full tilt thrash as hell. They love everything fast.
And very Australian.
They're like Fosters and bloomin' onions.
And sharks,
You don't want to
crocodiles wrestling. So this opens up with the track As We Breach, and right after you get past the intro of a clock ticking down, the song just explodes into a really nice intro riff and pretty much full tilt fast thrash. And
Fast.
when I say fast, this is the majority of this album. The majority of this album is very, very fast.
Fast.
These guys love Slayer, Creator, early Sepultura, Exodus. I mean,
Early Metallica.
Yeah, all that, except they liked mostly the fast songs.
Fast.
This was the first song I actually heard. They leaked this one as a early single, and I really liked this song right away. Like the kind of stomp that comes on the verses, and there's this really cool dissonant tag to the riff. But I mean, this is a straight up chug-a-thon. And it even squeezes in some blast beats and like almost kind of blackened tremolo. There are parts on here that kind of waver close to that, and they do like to squeeze in some blast beats here and there, which isn't necessarily like a big thrashy thing, but it was kind of cool to hear because, again, they like to play fast, and blast beats are fast.
Fast.
A mutual one we actually all loved was 3 tracks in called Bring On the War.
War.
First of all, very abrupt opening, which this band likes to do. There's no real intro. It's just, blah, here we are.
Yep, and we're playing fast.
And we're playing it fast.
Fast.
I'll take it fast.
Honestly, it isn't until like the end of the album do you get like a break in between tracks, because generally it's just like, all right, on to the next beat down. Like, oh my god, can we like build it up a little bit? Like, no, that we're going now.
But this song overall was slower in pace, like period. You get these big, thick, palm-muted chugs for the verses, and they're nasty.
Nasty.
Great hook in the chorus. Like, it really gives you like an epic, like old school Metallica feel.
Yep.
A little bit of a Shadows Fall kind of vibe.
He does sound a lot like Brian Fair.
A little
I'm
bit.
going to be honest.
He doesn't cup the microphone like Brian Fair. He's like, he's doing it regularly.
If he was Brian Fair,
From the Outback,
Shadows Fall,
Steakhouse,
Foster's,
Parking Lot,
beer,
Dreadlocks.
Dreadlocks.
I like the epic harmonies on this song especially, and a lot of these songs on here, whenever they start playing too slow, I feel like they just have to slam their foot on the gas and start going fast again.
fast.
This one is actually a good example of them kind of building up to that moment. They isolate the guitar and show you up, all right, this is the big riff coming.
A little bit of a marching kind of.
And then boom, into it. And actually, it's when they kind of lead in a little bit like that that you kind of don't get tired of the overall foot on the gas feel on this.
Their transitions are kind of knee-jerk still. It happens a lot.
Oh, we're on to another part now. Okay.
Yep. And let us know if you can hear the bass in this album when you listen to it, because I couldn't hear the bass guitar.
I mean, overall, I
The
didn't really
tone
have
is there,
huge
but
problem with the mix.
there's no beef in the bass.
See, the bass is kind of buried in the mix. I mean, it's there. You can hear it mostly when the guitars drop out.
Drums are very punchy.
Very punchy. Like, lots of, like, nice double bass, just beat downs. And the guitars sound nice and thick. I mean, it's a pretty solid mix overall. It just, certain levels probably needed to come up a bit. I personally think they are at their best when they write just these straightforward, thrashy bangers. Like, just go for it. Don't try to, like, noodle around too much with, all the weird transitions. Just, hammer on. Slaughter and Primeval. Best examples of this.
Dude, Primeval.
Primeval is probably the best barn burner on this
and
entire
that breakdown in that zone.
Bad A.
Oh.
Harlott says to the fans, sucketh our PPs.
Squealy solos,
Ripping
big
leads.
chugathons.
Dive bombs. The song Nemesis had a little bit more dynamics going on. It had a spooky acoustic intro, but just a smidgy. And then, hey, fast.
That riff though, after you get past those spooky guitars, that
It was
riff that
chuggy
comes
as
in
balls.
is a chugger headbanger.
And it's like a nice, like, mid-tempo, like, Testament-like stomp to
Yeah.
it.
The chorus was kind of strange. There was a lot of voices happening.
Yeah, dude, I don't like the cleans. It sounds like chanted vocals behind screams.
something like that.
Like, he
Not
has,
like
like,
a clean chant, and it sounds
there's
weird.
like a gritty, clean, like, you can hear, like a gruff vibrato there, but there's, like, it sounds like someone, like, kind of, like, just speaking into a Dixie cup. Like, all right, I'm going to do your harmonies. All right, now I'm just going to talk like this while you sing the chorus.
Yeah.
And the effect isn't great. And plus, I kind of think, like, the regular vocals there on their own would have been fine.
Pretty nasty, sludgy breakdown, but they should have humped that way longer than they
Yeah,
did.
this band doesn't like to dry hump things.
No.
They like to go.
You like that? Well, now we're going to play.
Something
Fast.
completely different. And that was my issue. Like, the bridge of this song, now this song is nearly 8 minutes.
Yeah.
I think it's like 7 minutes and 52 seconds. The bridge is just kind of all over the place. Like, they couldn't decide on one
Yeah,
uniform thing.
Lots of things were happening.
It's like they had a bunch of like filler spots where they couldn't figure out what to do next, or they couldn't figure out how to properly transition into another riff, and so they just had the kind of like da 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 da.
There's like a cool like tremolo harmony, but that's broken up by this really weird transition. Like it just bit it, and then it's right back into it. And then it goes into like a really cool chuggy spot after that. And immediately after that came up, I was like, did we even really need that tremolo bit? Like you could have trimmed like 15 to 30 seconds off there, because that really wasn't like that cool of a spot. I mean, they have like a nice little like Iron Maiden gallop in there too, with some really cool harmonies. But at this point, you're like, this bridge has gone on way too long, and it's just all over the place. Like there really didn't seem like a settled direction there. It's like, no, this is my part and it has to go in the song. Like, no, this is my part and it has to go in the song. Well, fine. We'll just throw it in there and see if anyone notices.
No one paid the troll tax to get across the bridge all the way. They just kind of stood in the middle of it. Another example of a longer song that is something I have a gripe with is the song Grief. First of all, right in the beginning, who let death into the building? Because that's super death at the beginning.
It's just this weird opening sludgy riff. Like there's no alert to this song coming.
Yeah,
it just
Immediately there's
happens.
vocals.
Yep,
It's
and
like,
then
we're in a song.
and say no to the clean vocals on this song. Say no.
It's a weird harmony again. It doesn't really work.
Interesting structure.
Interesting structure in the sense that nothing is again transitioned. Like they have that middle part, that weird ambient kind of dissonant part, and it's got a little dissonant riff to it, and you're like, all right, this is gonna be cool. Nope, screw that. Thrash time.
Here's another
Fast.
part.
No, actually, screw that. Black metal blast beat. No, actually, screw that.
It's weird, and that dissonant lead-in could have been cool. Like it feels like it's building up to like some like very like creepy dark moment, something
It
more
could have
moody.
been, dude, if I would have done that.
And then
I
they
would've-
went into their very fast comfort zone, and I just feel like, I don't know, this song was just kind of a misfire. But I have to say the longest song on here, Misery of the Dead, and they spell it differently. It looks like it says Misery.
Misery
Yeah, there's
or Miserere.
yeah, there's extra
Depends
R's and
on what
E's.
part of the country you live in, I guess.
of the dead.
In Australia,
Melbourne.
you're allowed extra letters, I think. This is the longest song on the album by far. 8.5 minutes. And this is actually really good for a long song. Like, because honestly, all right, when Nemesis was going on, I was like, man, I don't know if these guys can really put together a long song because all these ideas seem knee-jerk. And then you get a complete contrast in this song because they take time to build like the mood and
Some
build into a
ethereal
transition. Yeah,
cleans guitar going on.
it's really, really good. And like each like transition actually makes sense.
Yeah.
And the lead work in this song is
Lots of leads.
2 turntables and a microphone.
Lots of leads
Lots of
going on.
leads here. There aren't really dominant leads on most of this record until you get to the last few songs.
Yeah,
the last few songs really kick up the jams.
The clean vocals come back too, but they're a little bit more like gravelly, and I think they actually kind of fit a little bit better here. But overall, like I like the structure of the song. Like it flowed very well. It didn't feel like this is a bunch of ideas kind of crammed into a song to make it longer. This felt like, no, this was kind of a natural cohesion here.
There's like an acoustic thing in the middle that goes into some kind of like tribal thing.
Dude, that bridge is the bridge is really fucking pretty.
It's pretty neat.
Yep.
And you can hear the bass there.
Yeah.
But probably the most fun song on here was the closer, and it's a cover of Cannibal Corpse's Time to Kill Is Now. And I was absolutely shocked by this. It's a full-on thrash cover of a death metal song, and this isn't like the thrashier era of Cannibal Corpse. This is from Kill.
I didn't recognize it at first.
I didn't
Like,
either.
he was like, are you not picking up on this? And I was like, no.
That's fast thrash.
And then I realized once they got to the squealy
Yeah,
part,
like,
I was
weep,
like,
weep.
I was like, that's what this is.
Yep.
Cannibal Harlott.
It's really
Harlott
interesting
Corpse.
to hear like
Yeah.
Corpse Grinder's vocal cadences like done in a thrashy delivery too.
Yeah.
Like generally you're just being barked at by that neck has so much power in it. It just barks and you just obey it. Like, all right, well I guess I'm killing now. This is just a really different delivery, and it's just really cool how they turned it into a thrash song for the most part. Like when they get down to the whole Time to Kill Is Now part, like it's unmistakably death metal at that point. But it was a really cool take, and I absolutely enjoyed that cover.
It's pretty sweet.
Overall, this was a pretty interesting listen. I mean, it definitely sounds like, you know, they're trying to incorporate different elements and building on their sound and whatnot. But, you know, there's some growing pains there. So overall, I'm going to give this 3 stars. I think it's a pretty good album. Just, you know, I think they need to work on the longer songs. And, I mean, this band definitely has one predominant gear, but they do play it really well. And I love the thrashy energy, and that'll probably keep me coming back to this one.
I'm also going to give it 3 stars. What they do well, they do well. They know how to write riffs. They know how to write different parts. They know how to write sludgy, obviously really heavy breakdowns. But the transitions need a little work, in my opinion. When it's good, it's good. When it's not so good, it's just transition a little better. Maybe not so abrupt.
I'm gonna give it a 3 out of 5 as well. This music makes you sweaty and gives you a sore neck because you're just.
And I agree with you. I think this band needs to, at all times, if you guys don't, have a guy that just does hair whips.
Just one guy doing a windmill
the whole time, dude.
You know, just take the fuck off.
Or his neck will break.
Yeah, work on the transitions, oil them up a little, and
Yeah, just add a little bit of just ooh.
yeah, little bloomin'
Nipple
onion sauce.
twisty, you know?
Little bloomin' onion sauce on there.
Koala sauce. Wait, is
Little
that a thing?
Koala sauce.
little marinated kangaroo meat. You know,
Little marinated marinated in koala juice.
Sauce.
Sauce.
koala sauce.
It's not a thing yet. So, if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. And if you are new to the channel, subscribe, because we do stuff like this all the time.
All the time.
We will catch you later.